What if the very trap you set for someone else was always meant for you? A young student walked into his gym one day, confident, clever, and just a little too sure of himself. He had learned a precise jiu-jitsu technique that could temporarily paralyze his coach. And with a smirk, he decided to use it. What happened next, no one expected. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of a force older than time itself, karma. Not as punishment, but as perfect reflection. Krishna tells Arjuna in chapter 3, every action sets the universe in motion. Like a stone dropped in still water, every ripple returns. The ancient sages didn't see karma as revenge. They saw it as nature's quiet, flawless memory. Buddhism echoes this through the law of dependent origination. Nothing arises without cause. The Buddha taught that arrogance is a seed. Plant it carelessly, and the harvest comes in forms you never anticipated. The student believed he was playing a harmless prank. But the universe doesn't distinguish between harmless and intentional. It only reads the energy behind the action. There is something seductive about feeling superior. When we master a skill, pride whispers, use it to impress, to dominate, to prove. The Stoics called this hubris, the dangerous inflation of self. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more damage anger and arrogance do than the things that caused them." The student's cleverness became his blindness. He saw a weapon where there was wisdom. Respect is the invisible architecture of every great relationship. A coach pours years of knowledge into a student, not just technique, but character. When the student chose to use that knowledge against his teacher, he wasn't just playing a prank. He was quietly dismantling the very foundation that made him capable. A river that forgets its source eventually runs dry. The moment the technique backfired, when karma arrived swiftly and without apology, something important happened. The laughter in the room shifted. Because deep down, everyone recognized the truth: we are never as untouchable as we believe. The Zen masters called this beginner's mind. The moment you think you've mastered something, you've already begun to lose it. Arrogance is not strength. It is fear wearing a costume. The student who pranks his teacher is secretly asking, "Do I matter? Am I seen?" Ancient wisdom across every tradition agrees, true confidence needs no audience. It doesn't perform. It doesn't prove. Like a mountain, it simply stands. Quietly. Unmovable. Without needing anyone to notice. Here is the deepest truth this moment reveals. Karma doesn't punish the arrogant, it teaches them. The universe is not a courtroom. It is a classroom. That swift, humbling moment wasn't the end of the student's story. It was the beginning of his real education. The mat didn't just teach him jiu-jitsu that day. It taught him something no technique ever could: humility is the highest form of mastery. Today, before you walk into any room, your workplace, your home, your gym, pause for 3 breaths and ask yourself, am I here to prove something or to grow? That single question rewires everything. It transforms competition into collaboration, arrogance into curiosity. The student who asks that question every day becomes, slowly and beautifully, the teacher others trust with their lives. Every great tradition, from the banks of the Ganges to the hills of ancient Greece, has whispered the same truth across centuries: the humble inherit wisdom, while the arrogant inherit only their own reflection. The mat always remembers what we forget. And in that quiet, grounding moment of falling, we finally begin to rise. Subscribe to LifeVeda for daily wisdom that transforms your life.